Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zahra, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. Come to help the Muslims see for themselves and decide. Although the topic is on love, it will definitely go on Islam and Shia Islam too. So that's why I will be changing the title here later on. Okay, so I have to start quickly. You see these, now you people, Muslims don't want to leave Islam after having found out that there are logical fallacies the Quran in the Quran, right? Still you hang on to this. So Hume was right. I've come back to Hume as I've studied his ethics and morality in St. Joseph's College, Karachi. Okay, so I'll be coming to that too, but now seems like I'll start with love, right? Does love have a need? So on this, contemplating. So whatever I say here may or may not be true, but these are my findings, right? And through some belief I had long time ago that love is like this, intuitive or innate, I don't know, that love doesn't have a need, things like that, right? So anyhow, this is just my findings on this and not necessarily yours or anyone else's, perhaps. People might not agree to me on this. So let's see, I'm sharing my findings with you, coming to this in a way which I will start later, but for now, Surah 5, Ayat 54, starting from the Quran. So, the topic here on this, my notes is, does love have a need? Love should have been our religion and worship. And because of love, we should have worshipped, and it should have been our religion, but it isn't, because God is the greatest, and God wanted to be worshipped. But then there's a lot of like he wanted to be worshipped or for our own good, and then we go back to creation. Why did he create anything to be worshipped if he was needless, as the Quran ayat also says, and Shia belief is that tells us very clearly. Imam Hassan telling us, Ismaili, from Shia Ismaili side, we've seen that God is beyond need. Imam Ali has told us in Sermon 1 and maybe other also riwayats, traditions that I haven't come across because not all books of the Shias have I read. But Najul Balagha, Sermon 1, right? So God is needless, so needless. So why did he have to create anything? Right? Then we're in Shia Islam we're told he created this out of love for Prophet Muhammad and Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, whom we call the Shias call Panjatan Pak. So working through, I hope you'll understand all this, not in like just one go, but as I go on in the end. So please stay till the end if you want to understand all this, or even we'll go to I'll go to part 2, continuing with this, because I'll have to end in an hour or less than an hour, 55 minutes. Sorry about that. So I'll be continuing. So if you want to follow and please participate in this. let's see, I'm sharing my thing, but after that you can participate, or and also question yourselves on what I have to share with you here. So God says in Surah 5, ayat 54, "O you who have believed, whoever of you should revert from his religion, change his religion, Allah will bring forth a people he will love and who will love him." Now, this is illogical in itself, right? Or, looking at other ayats, like if you love Allah, follow me, Allah will love you. Now, Allah should not have sent this ayat because, like this, because He could have said, like, you see, He's relying on love. He could have said that they don't love me. So, why would they change their religion? Because they don't love Allah. So, they've left their religion. Or you who have believed. Something happened, love wasn't there. So, love is the most important thing right here. So, they did not come in this religion for love, they came for other things. And that's why they left, because Allah says Allah will bring forth a people He will love and who will love Him. So, those of you who have been here listening to me and following, not only following me, but participating in your mind, in your privately, maybe not here in the comment live chat. Um, like, do you see any, like, no one in their right mind would follow this religion, finding out what a thing it is, right? Terrible, illogical, and, you know, reason is love. It's too much. It's very, very sad, right? So this, just checking what messages have come in. So sorry about this. Now look at this. Should he have put it like this? So, okay, so he put it like this means they don't love him. The believers who came into this religion and then changed their religion did not love him really, did not really love Allah. So it's very, very important to love Allah. Anyhow, he tells Prophet Muhammad to tell them, if you love Allah, follow me, Allah will love you. There it's like follow Prophet Muhammad, then Allah will love you back and forgive you your sins. So one thing Hume has said long time ago, I studied him in college, and very true. Like if you have this, you see, reason is not enough. So I'll just cut my notes right now. Reason is not enough to keep you in this religion, right? But he doesn't say that. He just says love. So from the very beginning, he should have said, if you love Allah, then only come to this religion. Then only come to this religion, right? Or he should have made the people. Then how come he didn't even make people love him? Then if you know that people would only stay in this religion if they loved him and only him, then he should have made them. How can he now make them love? I mean, where's the free will? Where's the reason? Where's the whatnot? Like, you know what I mean? Or I'm not clear. A people he will love and who will love him. He will bring forth. So from the very beginning, he should have brought forth the people who love him, he loves, and who will love him, right? Do you see the logical fallacy in this from the very beginning then. He should have said, you are the people I have brought forth to love me. It doesn't go with, like, what is he trying? It's so illogical. So the confusion, the misguidance for years, and you have been deceived to no end, right? I just found this ayat, remembered, or just stumbled upon it, and this note, these notes of mine. We're not going to have this ayat because I didn't remember it. So thank goodness, thanks to whoever, the stumbling and finding this ayat, stumbling, just Surah Maida 54. Then from the very beginning, if love is so important and in this way, and he says, Allah, I will bring forth a people he will love, Allah will love, and who will love him. Then for sure you're not going to. Then these people are not, for sure, not going to leave their religion. Then please, you should have brought them forth from the very beginning and told us. If they leave, you believe now. So what a gaslighter and what a terrible, this is a false Allah. You must now, if you are following me, please save yourselves, right? Oh, so you're going to think I'm not trying, I didn't stick to my words, and I wouldn't force you, I wouldn't harm you, I wouldn't curse you, but I really think you should leave this religion if you know all these things, but you can't, because now I understand why you can't, because not going to Kant in philosophy, but going to Hume. Now, after showing you logical fallacies, reason being tarnished, retarded, so I have to just first and foremost for the Muslims, right, to help them take the will and compulsion. Where's Hume now? Oh, here he. Oh my God. So first, help for the Muslims. This brings me to Hume or reason, on reason and passion, which so refreshing my memory, what I'd studied, and it started from love, need. Does love have a need? But I reached here, right? So I'm cutting off my notes, a lot of it, a chunk of it, on this, and coming to this. This brings me to Hume on reason and passion. From Ethics of David Hume, YouTube. Now Gordon Petit is the channel, and he explains my class lectures, my in St. Joseph's College. So quickly, I had gone through that. This video, also my class lectures. A reason does nothing to stop one's passions. There is no right or wrong in reason. I've thought about it, contemplated when I was in St. Joseph's College. And it was very sad and shocking. But thank God I was so empty. Kind of, but as a Shia at that time, so I couldn't grasp what Hume was saying. I tried, I tried to contemplate. Wait a minute. I hope I'm not contradicting myself, not maybe I was confused or what, but at the same time, okay, so now this problem came. My other problems were gone, but then this problem came. So, but there were philosophers who went against what Hume has said here, that reason is not enough to tell us what's right and wrong, and passion, sense, perception. Passion, the Gordon uses passion, sense, perception. I don't know what my teacher used, I've forgotten. So it's the drive or motivation behind our actions, not reason. Hume brings morality in passion. That is, what is right or wrong and what is good or bad, right? So not thought or reason. What tells us is good or bad or right and wrong is not thought or reason, but our passion, like what other name I gave it, sense perception. I'm not sure if that would be correct here. Um, So it would be like, what is in our self interest, like reading further on Hume a little bit here. This encyclopedia, what is it? As he did with sympathy in the treatise, Hume argues that the principle of humanity makes moral evaluations. The principle of humanity makes moral evaluations possible. It is because we naturally approve of that which benefits society or individuals, us. I'm not sure about that, but it says which benefits the society, and whether it has self interest, and we can sacrifice the so we can't sacrifice even if it's individually for us, like it's good for us, only selfish interest. Hume argues that the principle of humanity makes moral evaluations possible, right? What is right and wrong, what is good and bad. So it is because we naturally approve of that, naturally approving of that which benefits society and disapprove of that which harms society, that we see some character traits as virtuous and others as vicious, some as good and some as bad, some as right and some as wrong. So, starting even from our self interest, we, Hume thinks, I think what I understood of this is that starting with our individuality, what is good for me, is that when we look at, then we have to look at humanity and see that, no, wait a minute, that giving to other, how Hume has reached this in his treatise, the sympathy and all this, then we wider, we go to a wider range, it takes us to a wider, extending our self-interest to humanity, and we say, oh, that's even more better for us than just my self-interest, right? So that's what makes us do the right thing or the wrong thing, do the right thing and forsake the wrong, and do what is right and forsake what is wrong. Not the intellect, not reason. Reason is not enough from what I've understood now. Again, refreshing my memory. And thanks to the channel Gordon Petit on ethics of David Hume. Right? So getting this to just help the Muslims, and then I'll be showing you the Quran ayahs, even when going to Shia Imam's narration in Al-Kafi, I'll be showing you the Quran ayahs also, which have, again, which have illogical things and written, that reason, even on this, that reason and intellect cannot save us from doing wrong. Okay, and clarifying some things on this in Islam. So even when going to Shia Imam's narration in Al-Kafi, telling us Allah created the best thing, and that was aql, the intellect. Allah told reason to come forward with aql. So reason comes from aql, right? And it could be from the heart. I don't know why do they think from the heart. Allah says this also in the Quran ayat. Anyhow, but maybe Allah thinks that the aql is also in the heart. We have some emotional intelligence, but this aql, whether the heart is thinking, it uses reason for what is right and wrong and what is good and bad. Or what Allah tells us, or it's not reason that tells us what is right and wrong, it's Allah telling us what is right and wrong. And reason, now I've worked it out after a long time, that reason, intellect only tells us to obey Allah, right? So yes, Hume is right that so there's a now as ex-Shia, I found out that no, Allah doesn't say that I've made intellect to tell you what is right and wrong. But you'll see in Al-Kafi written what Allah says here. Let's see. So even when going to Shia Imam's narration in Al-Kafi telling us Allah created the best thing and that was Aql, Allah told reason to come forward. And it came forward, and he told reason to go back, and it went back. Abu Ja'far bin Yaqub al-Kulaini has said, a number of our people, of whom one is Muhammad bin Yahya al-Attar, narrated from Ahmad bin Muhammad, from Hassan bin Mahbub, okay, so now come to the Imam, right? Then it comes to Abu Ja'far al-Baqir, that's the fifth Imam of the 12 Shias, and I don't know which number of the Ismaili Shias. But Imam Muhammad Baqir, Imam Jafar Sadiq's father, has said, when Allah created the intellect, Aql, it made it speak and said to it, come forward. So it came forward. He then said, go back. And it went back. Then Allah said, I swear by my honor and glory that I have not created any creation more beloved to me than you. I will not perfect you in anyone except those whom I love. I will command you and prohibit you, and I will punish you and I will reward you. Right? So those who use reason, and on this intellect does Allah, where you can obey Allah, you have the power to obey Allah or to disobey His commands, Allah, right? Disobey Allah, meaning His commands. So on this intellect power, right, you have the power to disobey on this intellect. From this intellect, you get the power to disobey and obey. But you see, this is the thing, that the cultural relativity we have, that it's not universally true for everyone, for every human being, unless they believe in this Allah. And this Allah, He says He's universally true. But there are different people, different minds, and reason alone is not strong enough, right? Powerful enough to stop you from doing bad or doing wrong or going wrong. So this, that only Allah tells you, commands you to do what is right, what He thinks is right. He is the creator, originator of what is wrong and what is right. But reason here alone, like for example, if let's say another religion, maybe false god, you would say, Muslims would say, oh, their God says do this. Now, this is such a stupid thing. How can they? This doesn't even appeal to intellect. But it's not, the intellect does not bring out, has not brought forth what is right and what is wrong. This is where maybe some of us Shias have also missed and misunderstood. So akal is only important for disobeying and obeying Allah's commands. And on the development of your mind and akal, intellect, will Allah punish you or reward you. Because you put an effort through the akal, intellect, to obey Allah or disobey Allah. And this intellect has that power, Allah tells us, but not the power to know what is right and wrong. So that's even like, so that's why you'll have to be struggling for the rest of your life, because intellect, as important and great as Allah has made it, is not the source of what is wrong and what is right. Is it only obeys, it knows, like it only understands. When it understands, it obeys. When it doesn't understand, doesn't obey. Or through the intellect, we can, then we go on. You can think about this, contemplate how far you can go to understand. Intellect, Allah's command has come. This is right and this is wrong. That's all. The function of the intellect is to obey or not to obey. So you have at least that power. But I think this is even, it's not fair to you, because not having the, like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not really prepared for this. I should have taken some days, but just an introduction to this, then I will come back again. So, and how far I go in this, like I have to contemplate more. So, things coming to me in piecemeal, okay, about this. But I know that intellect is only made to obey or not to obey, has the power to do that, but not the power to tell you what is right and wrong. Like we say, use your conscience. So then there's a big fallacy, right, in the Quran, like God saying, use your mind. If God is saying use your mind to find out what is right and wrong, then that in the Quran, that ayat directly, I have not yet found or thought about. But if he tells you in the Quran to use your intellect, akal, to see what's right and wrong, then you can't. Then that would be really unjust of God, unfair of God to you. Because intellect is not even here in Al-Kafi. It is not the source. It is not which the conscience which pricks you, like we say, oh, this person doesn't have a conscience, look what he did and look what she did, and her conscience even doesn't prick her. That which has the sense of what is right and what is wrong, right? This conscience, when did we see this in meaning? Do you see this? So do you see the injustice done to the believers by Allah, this false God? A person's moral sense, yeah, the sense that gives you that morality of right and wrong. You see? So here, where the Shias, even Sunnis, oh my God, Sunni Islam, Shia Islam, it's not in your conscience. And if reading Imam Ali's, don't remember. Actually, I think it was on when he was telling his son, Hassan or who, the wasiyat, the will, that, did he say, I thought I had read, I'm not sure, but I can't find it now. I've been on it, but I just had to nod and come out of it. Feel very angry and agitated to Imam Hassan. I think he says, use your, oh God, it's downloaded. I advise you is to be conscious of Allah. No, he says to Hassan, I read it before, I might have made a mistake. Or to use your conscience, not being conscious of Allah. I know the difference. I knew the difference then also when I was reading this. Some people, you might, I hope all of you know, right, that conscience is different from conscious. Being conscious of something is being just mindful about Allah, about something. Being conscious of something is being conscious of just being aware of someone or something. But being conscious is to have moral sense of right and wrong, which the mind doesn't have, right? If you like, so here in Al-Kafi at least, Shia see that Allah doesn't say that this mind, Aqal, has what is right and what is wrong. It just has, Allah has given it the power to obey Allah, obey, obedience, and not to obey. It has the power to obey. And through this, Allah swears that only His beloved will be, they will have a developed, or no, that I have not created any creation more beloved to me than you, the most beloved, which is also Prophet Muhammad, right? The light of Allah. Shias, you know this. And I will not perfect you in anyone except those whom I love. So I will develop, not only develop you in those I love, but perfect you. And what is that perfection? I don't know. But what I know is that it doesn't have the sense, morality, the sense of what is right and wrong. That is given by Allah. So let's say another religion, if a different God, or so they like philosophy, let's say, it's okay to, let's say, like this religion says, let's say this religion says, and what the Quran ayat, what I got from Surah Nur ayat, that it's okay to prostitute, but compulsive prostitution is not good. It's okay to have sex slaves, right? Also that, right? So for the polytheists, it may not be right to have sex slaves or to have prostitution. For fatayatukum, let's say, for maid girls, right? Because somehow they have been conditioned, and their gods have told them, let's say, that prostitution, no way, not allowed, not permitted. So the mind, okay, this is wrong, and this is, so I won't do this because Allah, their God has told them this is wrong. So it doesn't, but the mind doesn't have the sense of what's right and wrong, what's good and bad for it. neither does the soul, as we are told here according to Islam. So reason is good in obeying Allah, but I find that for what is bad and good or right and wrong, reason, intellect is not enough. Allah tells us what is right and wrong or good and bad. Allah tells us what is. So let's go like this in short. Moreover, we see in the Quran ayats how Allah fails in reason and logic. Thus, even that, right? Thus, the Quran is full of logical fallacies, utterly failing logic and reason. We will see even again if you want me to show you. Yet Allah tells us to use reason, otherwise He'll put abomination on those who do not. So in using the reason, we can only, yes, obey Allah. That's very great. Allah will perfect His religion on those whom He loves and all that. Those whom I love, right? I will perfect my intellect. But this intellect doesn't have what is right and wrong. If you have been a Shia and thinking that, oh, I must also use my conscience because it has what is right and wrong, it has my mind, which is part of my mind, which is the conscience, which knows what is right and wrong for itself and others. That's not true. In Islam, I recently found that out. So we need to know what akal is. So I took recourse to Ismaili definition because the Quran doesn't explain even what is akal, but it just tells us to use reason. Otherwise, God would put abomination on us 100 times. How many times? Surah 10, Ayat 100, I've come to. He will place defilement upon those who will not use reason. And it is not for a soul. Okay, let's, right? To believe except by the permission of Allah. And He will place defilement upon those who will not use reason. Ark alone. So we need to know what akal. Okay, let's also be sure about what akal is. Shia. So through Ismaili, they have explained here very easy encyclopedia of Ismailism by Mumtaz Ali Tajdeen. The word akal, plural ukul, is derived from the verb akala, meaning to keep back a camel by tying it 4 legs. So you see, they have to tie the camel to keep it back, restrain something. So this akal, we're told, has this restraining power your desires, restrain from this, to detain, confine, to be restricted, be reasonable, understand, or even a certain understanding of something can make you, but that still wouldn't give you the conscience, I think, of what is right and wrong. But just understanding, yeah, it will harm me if I do this. God has told, but it's mostly rested on God. Like if I fornicate, it's depends. Now my mind is like, I don't know. If I fornicated, would it be wrong? Have intelligence or realize? Like, to what extent have this intelligence? Shias. To have the sense of morality? What is right and wrong? No. I think it's just the power to see what is right and to do or not to do, to obey or not to obey. This implies that true reason and intelligence can only be realized by keeping back from the lower self. Keeping back the lower self. Now, the lower self and nature, like animal self and, the desires, lust, sex, That's a very natural thing as you're growing up. So they say, oh, we want to get them married soon. And the West, well, look what the Western people have given us. They've given us an education until our children grow up to be 21 years old and this, and then we get them married, our men, our boys, our sons, daughters. Oh my God, look what the West has given us. Otherwise, we should get our daughters quickly married because after 9 years, I think in the ninth year, daughters develop this sexual thing, and also men after on in the 15th year, having all these hormones coming up, or hormones building up, and sexual desires coming up. In this, so our children should be married. Our sons should be married at 15, or just after a year we should get them married. Lest they fornicate or masturbate. In this context, in this context, the akal keeps the human being steadfast on the straight path by preventing him from going astray. So whatever the laws Allah has given you, not by your conscience, you use your intellect just so you can stop your desires, and from if you're let's say from stealing, also things like that. Allah said stealing is bad, don't do it. Some would say misappropriation. Stealing is, when you think about it, okay, you can say, like Hume, some things you can say, oh, this is, would, like what Jesus Christ said, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. So would you do it? Thinking like that, yeah. Some of it has, so maybe with Hume we may not agree fully, because there were thinkers, philosophers, you criticized Hume, like, but what about in this? So maybe agree, I don't know actually. Maybe what Hume means is that but when you think about it, what is your interest? Not reason alone, huh? We may be thinking that, oh, this could be so evasive. So, oh yes, and oh God, I have to think about this, right? How to say it, how to put it. Maybe what Hume is saying, it's not reason that stops you from doing something wrong or bad. Even in the stealing thing, you say it's not reason, right? What goes around comes around. But you say, if I steal today, they can steal. Someone can come, but if you can get away with it, you can steal, right? Would you steal or not? So reason alone is not powerful enough to even thinking like this, Jesus Christ way, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. There's something deeper than reason. Self-interest, maybe. That's what you meant by passions or values or self-interest. Or you see all of humanity like that. That's how maybe even London, Europe has progressed. Not having, if you don't have a religion, it's okay. The atheists have progressed like that. But reason is not powerful enough to stop you from being a kleptomaniac, let's say. What about in such? Okay, that's, you would say that's a rare case. Kleptomaniacs are rare. But would you steal if you felt okay? You could get, you could not get caught here, and okay, I really need this bread, and I don't have money for it, and maybe bend and I'll steal today from and keep my conscience. Like my mind will be clear because I apply my rules as I go. So reason is, or am I reasoning another way and saying, well, I want this bread today and I'm going to get it. If I can't afford it, I'll steal it. Like what Robin Hood was doing, if you know who Robin Hood is. He's taking money he was stealing money from the rich, giving it to the poor because they weren't, the money was not circulating properly, right? Uh, so the rich who were like, keeping, hoarding money, all that, he was stealing, Robin Hood was stealing from them. So then it would be right? These rich people, they're stealing, they're hoarding money and not giving it to the poor who deserve it. They're supposed to give it to them. So let's go and steal from them. So you make your own rules. And in this case, like a caravan robber, Prophet Muhammad, as Sunnis take this hadiths, the story about this, a biography of Muhammad, that because the Makkans exiled him and confiscated the goods and home and all homes of the believers and his home, and confiscated his goods, his property, so they could go to Medina, save themselves, and then go and rob the caravans of the Makkans, right? So that's not wrong for Sunnis. It's right because Prophet Muhammad did that, like Robin Hood. It would be right for them, the Sunnis. Maybe not the Shias. That Prophet Muhammad never did this. Okay, so another reason for Jang-e Badr, the Battle of Badr, Prophet Muhammad never did that. Okay, so for the Shias, it could be that, most probably. Knowing myself being a Shia, most probably. So, anyways, like this. So, where have I reached now? Abomination. Okay, you're told that if you don't use reason, for what reason? For what, in what circumstance? To obey God or what? Even God is not clear about this. You need to know, then you need to know what akal is. And the Quran doesn't explain what akal is, right? Sometimes it's saying the heart is thinking. And where is the akal? Is it in the heart? Is it in the qalb? Is it in the head? Where is the intellect? So here the word akal does not occur in the Quran in its normal form, the trilateral verb. Okay, thank you, heritage.ismaili.net/node. Okay, next, from Quranites, we see how reason or intellect is not enough to stop us from our passions, desires, and some things which are considered sinful in this religion because God's command has come that they are sinful. Like, for example, for the Sunnis, the Sharia, but again, after John, or who was he, a Christian, telling someone in the channel, Mr. J, about the Sharia, like the Sunni Muslims can lie to win a debate. God knows how they can lie to their wives to please them and say, oh, just not to hurt them. So if they're looking ugly, don't tell them they're looking ugly. Tell them the opposite, they're looking beautiful, or not to, break their heart or something. Uh, in war, you can lie, or so much taqiyya, dissimulation, lying, and that's not considered bad for them. Converting Christians is not considered bad. Dawah is not bad also. So lying to what extent is not bad? Lying against Jews and Christians, when you are in trouble, just act like you are, you like them, but in your heart curse them and hate them, and like, or some tafsir, I don't know, some say this, some Sunnis say this. I've heard ex-Sunnis now, ex-Muslims. So you can lie to that extent and act like a hypocrite. But this hypocrisy is good. So you see, it all changes. And Surah 20, ayat 115, we find out that Adam himself, we found not in him determination, God says. This is the main point in this ayat. Surah 20, ayat 115, reading it out now, starting from the beginning. And we had already taken a promise from Adam before. Allah had taken a promise from Adam, but he forgot, and we found not in him determination. Now, why did he fail? Why did he fail Allah? Right? Making a promise to Allah. Allah made him promise Allah. Allah made Adam promise Allah, and then Allah says that he was not determined enough to fulfill the promise, and he also forgot. So God knows what Adam lacked to have no determination to resist temptation. Sahih International footnote number 1 on no determination says to resist temptation. He could not resist the temptation of Satan, Iblis, when Satan appeared to him. And so we're told in Surah 2, ayat 36, then did Satan make them slip from the garden and get them out of the state of felicity in which they had been. We said, get you down, all you people, with enmity between yourselves. On earth will be your dwelling place and your means of livelihood for a time. So you see, Satan made him slip. Whether this now Shia point, now Shias don't blame Adam. Shias say, no, he never did anything wrong. So reading Shia tafsir, I'm trying to find out like what is the word meaning? What is this part he found not, and we found not in him determination? That even like they don't blame Satan. They say no, they don't. Sorry, they blame. Okay, Satan made them slip. How shall I say this? But they don't blame Adam, right, at all. So Allah tells Adam here, and you should read the tafsir in multilingual Quran. Right now, I don't have the time. What does Ali and the tafsir mean? So I had to, you see, I had to come to these ayats, Surah 2, ayat 36, and take a turn. Okay, so I find here that Satan made Adam slip. But they don't mention this resisting. He didn't have the power to resist the temptation of Satan. Satan said, I swear that he swore that he's a well-wisher and is telling them the truth about this. And so Adam and Eve went for the tree, the fruit. He deceived Adam. Maybe the slip made them slip from the garden. He deceived Adam, but here, look, in Surah 20 at 115, we found not in him determination. Maybe Shias are taking it in a positive manner. Oh, so he forgot, but there was no determination in Adam to disobey Allah. Maybe the Shias mean this. I don't know. Maybe this Arabic word determination is a negative one. That's why these Arabs, they put to resist temptation. I'm not sure. Sahi International. Sorry about this. It's just bad habit I have to. So, anyways, let's leave this behind. It's a little bit not that clear. God knows what Adam lacked, or he forgot why he forgot to have no determination to resist temptation. Let's take the Sunni way, but not the Shia. Then after reading Shia Tafsir, I had to go to another ayah like this one, Surah 2, ayah 36. Adam did make him slip. Okay, I have to go now. Sorry, thank you. I'll continue later. I'm really sorry about